Okay, warm welcome, my dear students, once again. This is the second part of your weathering and soil formation. Okay, so here in this part, we will be continue with the concept of gradation and weathering. Okay, now and listen one thing first. The landforms are made up of rocks. All the landforms on the surface of the earth are continuously changing. Okay, the landforms that we see around us are have been taken ages to form and are continuously being modified. Okay, for example, you see the Himalayas are being eroded by the rivers, and sediments from these mountains are being deposited in the northern plains of India. Okay, similarly, the landforms undergoes continuous changes by the wind in the desert region and the waves in the coastal region. Okay, so this rock which form the landmass are subjected to erosion, denudation and weathering by the various forces of nature. Okay, such as your wind and your water. Okay, so this process are different, but they are closely related to each other. So let us learn about this process. So the first process is your gradation. Okay, what is gradation? Gradation is a process that levels the land and includes simultaneous removal and deposition of the earth particle. Okay, it will simultaneously remove or it will deposit the earth particles. So this is the definition for your gradation. Now, very importantly, we have to learn the agent of gradation. Okay, what is the agent of gradation? We have two important forces, that is two important agent of the gradation. Okay, one is your endogenetic forces and another is your exogenetic forces. Now, endogenetic forces, the powerful forces are generated inside the earth crust. Okay, inside the earth crust the powerful forces are generated. These forces create major landforms such as their mountains, plateaus. Okay, on the earth. So exogenetic forces that resulted into the formation of these important features of the earth like your mountains and the plateaus. Now see what is exogenetic forces. After the formation of this landform, another set of force that sculpt means what? The shaping, to give shape, sculpture, to give the shape to something, and scarp and level the surface of the earth come into action. That is your exogenetic forces. Okay, the shaping of the landform, the shaping of this existing landform, the mountain, plateaus, plains. Okay, by another forces like your agent like your river, waves, wind, glacier and the underground water. When all these agents want to sculpt or to scarp and level the surface of the earth, that time we call it as the exogenetic forces. Okay, so understood. Endogenetic means the power or the forces that generated inside the earth crust, which resultant into the formation of your mountains and the plateaus, plain on earth. And exogenetic, the forces of exogenetic means the work of your river, wave, wind, glacier. This sculpt, scarp and level the surface of the earth. Okay, so this is the agent of gradation. Gradation means, just now I said, the gradation means process that labels the land and includes the simultaneous removal and deposition of earth particle. Okay, so these are the agent of the gradation. Agent of the gradation means river, wave, wind, glacier, underground water. Okay, is that clear? Now gradation work in two ways. Okay, one is degradation, one is aggradation. Okay, degradation is the wearing away of the land surface by the agent of gradation. What I said, the agent of the gradation? River, wind, underground water, the glacier. When all these forces come into action, that erode away or that wear away the land surface, okay, by the forces of this agent. That is your degradation. Wearing away is your degradation. Now see aggradation. Aggradation is also called deposition. Eroded materials is transported to another place and deposited there. Okay, the degradation, the work of the agent of the degradation, like river, wind, this agent wears away the land surface, and it, when it get deposited in certain place, that time another type of the landform will form. Okay, that work of deposition, that work of deposition is also known as your aggradation. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the degradation and the aggradation. You just remember, degradation means wearing away the land surface. Okay, then aggradation means deposition, the work of deposition that forms the different, another different features earth surface. So how the gradation work? Gradation work in two ways. One is degradation and another one is aggradation. Is that clear? Okay, one important thing here, this wearing, wearing away, the removal of weathered particle by the agent of the gradation, like river, wind, water. Okay, this weather particle, removal of this weathered particle are also known as your erosion. Okay, you have to know this term, erosion. Okay, removal of the weathered particle by the agent of this gradation is also known as your erosion, and the work of the aggradation is also known as your deposition. If the work of erosion is to remove the weathered particle, then work of your deposition is to, give elevation to the depression or to the lowland. Okay, so if the erosion will remove the weathered particle, then deposition will form the new features by depositing sediments. Okay, so this is the thing you need to understand. Okay, with the degradation, the term erosion is associated. With the aggradation, the term deposition is associated. Okay, now we will see the main thing, the main concern of the chapter, that is weathering. Okay, now let us understand what is weathering. Weathering is very, it is very simple process, like it is the process of disintegration and decomposition of rock by the natural agents. That is why we first discuss about the rock, because rock is subjected to your weathering. Rock is the main subject where the action of the weathering will takes place. Okay, so it is the process of disintegration and decomposition of the rock by the natural agents. Natural agents means the agent of gradation. What is the agent of gradation? River, wind, underground water. So this all are your natural agent. So weathering is nothing but the process of disintegration, means fragmentation and decomposition of rock by the natural agents. Okay, simply you understand that. Now what are the factors that influence the weathering of a rock? Okay, so these are the factors that influence the weathering of the rock. That is local climate, means climate of a particular place where the weathering is being actually taking place. Okay, that plays important role, because climate determines the rate of disintegration or scale or pace of your disintegration. Then mineral composition of the rock. If the rock mineral composition of the rock is like a calcium, very light mineral, then it will get easily disintegrate. Okay, then your structure of the rock, what type of the structure is there? Very hard structure, very easy, the loose structure, that also plays an important role in the process of disintegration of rock. Okay, so these all are the factor that influence the weathering of a rock. Is that clear? I hope. Now we will see the different types of the weathering. We have mechanical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. Okay, we will see in detail the process of the mechanical, chemical, and biological weathering. Okay, let us see the mechanical weathering first. Okay, see what is the definition of the mechanical weathering. Okay, first we will understand the definition of the mechanical weathering. Mechanical, or this is also known as a physical weathering. Physical weathering is the disintegration of rock due to heat, water, and frost. Okay, this type of weathering does not cause any change in chemical composition of the rock. Okay, from the name itself you can understand that this is the disintegration of the physical appearance, means physical structures. Okay, the rock will get fragmented into pieces physically. It does not cause any change in the chemical composition of the rock. Okay, so this is one example. You can see the one example, this is known as your frost shattering. Okay, how the chemical weathering takes place. See, the rock with the crack, then water enters the crack, freezes and expands the crack. The one rock with the crack, then your step 2, in your step 2 what will happen? The water enters this crack. From the image you can clearly understand, freeze and expand the crack. At night when the during the night time it causes crack in the rock and rock. This is when this thing takes place, it expands. Okay, once the ice expands during the night time, it causes further cracks. Then next third step is here, the more water enter and freezes. Okay, the crack deepen more and water enters and it got freeze here, freeze. Then what happen? Repeated freeze break the rock and it will also break the joint lines, and thus we will have the disintegration of this rock. The rock will get fragmented. Okay, so with this basic process, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, you can understand this action of the frost shattering. Okay, here frost shattering, how the chemical, how the physical weathering takes place due to this frost shattering. Then next we have the example of this. See, a rock surface heats up and expand. Okay, during the daytime. This is also another example of your physical weathering or mechanical weathering. This is also known as your exfoliation. Okay, see what happens in this process. This is the rock during the daytime. When the rock surface heats up and it will expand. Okay, then at the night time, this is the mechanism of your expansion and the contraction. If something continuously get expanded and contracted, what will happen? That will break into pieces. Okay, the same mechanism you can apply here. And during the night time, the rock surface cool and it will get contract. Okay, then in the third steps you can see joints from part of the rock. Okay, so see the picture. In this way the joints will form. Okay, then finally original surface of the rock, it will break down. Okay, see the original surface of the rock will break down. So the same process will continue for a longer period of the time. Then this rock will get fragmented into a pieces. Okay, so this is the process of your exfoliation. Okay, mechanism of the expansion and the contraction. During daytime the rock will get expanded, and during night time the rock will get contracted. Okay, due to the cool temperature, due to the decrease in the temperature. Okay, so that expansion and the contraction ultimately leads to your fragmentation of the rock. Okay, so this is the two examples of the mechanical weathering. Now see the chemical weathering. Chemical weathering involves the change in chemical composition of rock, which leads to the disintegration of rock into a smaller pieces. Okay, you have to understand the basic difference between the physical weathering and your chemical weathering. Okay, chemical weathering, it changes the composition of the rock, which leads to the disintegration of rock into the smaller pieces. In the beginning only, in the definition of the weathering, we learned that weathering is nothing but the fragmentation of the rock. Okay, disintegration of the rock. So how the chemical weathering works? Okay, it will get reacted with the rock particle. Okay, the different agents of the weathering will get reacted with the rock, and that resultant into your fragmentation of the rock. Okay, so three important points you need to remember in the chemical weathering is rainwater is an important agent in the chemical weathering. You have to remember that. Then chemical weathering is more prominent in warm. Okay, chemical weathering is more prominent in warm tropical region. Okay, why? Because in the tropical region we have a heavy rainfall. Okay, then number 3 point you need to remember is carbon dioxide and water are the two most common chemical weathering agent. Okay, suppose in the physical weathering we have a agent like your water, wind, then underground water. Then here in the chemical weathering, what are the most important common chemical weathering agent? The carbon dioxide and water. Okay, because with the reaction with the chemical present in the rock, the fragmentation of the rock will takes place. Okay, one simple example you can see the reaction with water. Okay, how the rock will get disintegrate when it get react with water. Then we have another example, reaction with oxygen. Okay, if the rocks come in contact with the oxygen, then it will get fragmented. Okay, so this is the chemical weathering. Then we have next biological weathering. See, the plants biological weathering is very simple. You all can observe through your eyes also the biological weathering. The plant, animal and human beings are the agent of the biological weathering. Okay, you just have to understand in mechanical weathering what are the agents? The natural agents like river, wind. In chemical weathering, agents are rainwater, then here some gas, some minerals like here carbon dioxide. Okay, then here in the biological weathering, what is the agent? Plant, animal and the human being are the agent of the biological weathering. Okay, one example you can see, growing plants root penetrate into our rocks. Okay, this is the plant, the root of this plant penetrate into the rock, widen the cracks and joints of the rock and split the rocks apart. When this root widened the crack, a small crack of the rock inside the earth, and the joint of the rock will get splitted apart. Okay, so this is how the biological weathering work. See another example of your biological weathering. Okay, see here, the seed may fall into a cracks in the rock where shelter and moisture help them grow into small plants or tree. As the tree grow, the roots develop and force the crack to widen. The rock eventually get fragmented. More the root will widen, then that ultimately leads to your fragmentation of the rock. Okay, Then you can see how the burrowing animals such as your rabbits, moles, even the earthworms can help to break down the rock. Okay, from the image you can see how these animals, you know, in the soil layer, they help to fragment the rock. Okay, so this is the some example, these are the some example for your biological weathering. Okay, from the picture itself you can understand. Okay, apart from this plant and animal, one important point you have to remember here, human activities such as mining or quarrying. Okay, quarrying, mining, you understand, no? Dig out the minerals from the inside the ore, that also cause large scale disintegration of the rock. So human activities like mining and quarrying is also responsible for the disintegration of the rock, and that comes under your biological weathering. Okay, so this is all about the weathering. Okay, so this is part 2, and we will discuss the soil formation in next part. Okay, so this much for today. Take care and bye bye.